Sub-goal labels for writing selection statements. Part 2. We have the same sub-goal labels that we had in the first. This time we're going to do a different worked example. Here's the problem. Write the Java selection statements to solve the following specifications. Write the statements to print out the name of the month equivalent to the value stored in the integer variable month. Sub-goal number 1. Define how many mutually exclusive paths are needed. In this case, there are 12 different months. Each value is represented by a unique value, 1 to 12. In this case, a switch statement will work. Sub-goal 2. Determine the variable expression for the mutually exclusive ranges. For this problem, we want to base it off the value that is stored in the integer variable month. Sub-goal 3. Write the switch statement based on the variable or expression. So here we have switch on the variable month. Don't forget the open and close curly braces. Sub-goal 4. Each range becomes a case. Because month is an integer, all of the case values must also be integers. So for this problem, we will have a case 1, a case 2, a case 3, a case 4, all the way up to case 12. For each one of these cases, we want to do the action associated with that value. So for case 1, we want to print the string January. For case 2, we want to print the string February, and so forth, all the way down to case 12, which prints December. Sub-goal 5. Don't forget to include the break statements and the default if needed. In this case, we do want a break for every case because we only want it to print one month string value. We're also going to add a default in case the value in month is not 1 through 12. In that case, we'll print the error message that there was an invalid value of. Here's another worked example. Write the statements to print out the letter grade equivalent of your quiz grade, where 90 to 100 inclusive is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, and 60 to 69 is a D. Below 60 would be an F. First, we need to define how many mutually exclusive paths are needed for sub-goal 1. In this case, there are 5 mutually exclusive paths, 1 for each letter grade. You may use a switch statement, but know that you will have to give each numeric grade as a case, since relational operators, less than, greater than, equality, are not allowed in case statements. The other option is to use nested if statements. Let's go with that one. Sub-goal 2 then says we want to order from the most restrictive selective group to the least restrictive. Well, the most restrictive for this are those who scored a 90 and above, then those that score 80 and above, then those that score 70 above, etc. So we want to write the if statement with the Boolean expression. So in this case, if the quiz grade is greater than or equal to 90. Sub-goal 4. Follow with the true bracket, including the action. So if the quiz grade is greater than or equal to 90, we want to print out that the student would get an A. Now we want to follow with the else bracket. In this case, our else leads us to another condition. Else, if the quiz grade is greater than or equal to 80, then we want to print out a B. Here we do not need to add the condition and quiz grade is less than 90, because in this case we would have already gotten all of the values that were 90 or greater in the first Boolean condition. Sub-goal 6 says to repeat until all the groups and actions are accounted for. Therefore, we'll need 1 for if the quiz grade is greater than or equal to 70, another for if the quiz grade is greater than or equal to 60, and then we have our final else, which is to print if anything is below a 60, then it would print an F. Here's the equivalent answer if you wanted to write it as a switch statement. Notice that you could switch on the quiz grade, and in this case you would have one case for every numeric grade, 90, 91, 92, all the way up to 100, in which case then you would print an A. The same thing for 80s, 70s, 60s. Then we have our default that prints out an F. That's the end of these worked examples.